$20,000. That is the number millions of American families are working with right now when they open a listing on their phone or pull into a used car lot. They need an SUV, something with enough room for the kids, reliable enough to not become a money pit, and affordable enough that the payment does not eat the month. The problem is the used car market in 2025 is genuinely full of traps. Flood-damaged SUVs with clean titles are still cycling out of Texas and Florida. Nissan Rogues with 70,000 miles on a bad CVT that nobody mentioned are sitting in listings right now. There are dealers adding documentation fees, dealer prep fees, and processing fees that push a $15,000 price tag to $19,000 before you sit down to sign a single page. This video cuts through all of that. 6 SUVs, real data on what they cost to own, where they break down, and what to watch for before you hand over your money. Before we get into it, if you are actively shopping for a used SUV right now, or you know someone who is about to make this call, drop a comment below with the model you are looking at and the state you are in. I read every comment and will tell you exactly what to check on that specific vehicle if this kind of straight line buying guide is useful to you. Subscribe and turn on notifications. New content every week, all of it focused on helping real buyers spend their money smarter. Now, what does $20,000 actually buy you in the used SUV market right now? The honest answer, a lot if you know which vehicles to target. Very little if you walk in without understanding the known problems on specific model years or the ownership costs nobody puts in the listing. Most families start with the Honda CR-V, and it is a reasonable place to start. The 2016 through 2019 CR-V is one of the most consistently reliable compact SUVs built in the last decade. Consumer Reports has rated it above average in reliability across multiple model years. Right now in the USA, clean examples are running between $14,500 and $19,500 depending on mileage and trim. The fuel economy argument for the CR-V is real. The 1.5-liter turbo returns 28 city and 34 highway miles per gallon. At $3.40 a gallon and 15,000 miles a year, you are spending roughly $1,700 on fuel annually. A vehicle that averages 25 miles per gallon costs you about $2,040 for the same driving. Over 5 years, that is over $1,600 just in gas, and that gap widens the more you drive or the higher gas climbs where you live. The cargo room is class competitive, the rear seat is genuinely comfortable for kids, and resale value is strong enough that you will not get hurt badly when it is time to sell. Now here is the thing on the 2017 and 2018 CR-V specifically. There is a documented oil dilution issue with the 1.5-liter turbo engine in cold climates. Gasoline mixes into the engine oil on short trips in cold weather when the engine does not fully warm up, most commonly reported in Minnesota, Ohio, Michigan, and the upper Midwest. Honda pushed a software update in 2018 that partially addressed it. There was no full recall and no complete fix. Consumer Reports covered this issue extensively. If you are buying a 2017 or 2018 CR-V and you live somewhere cold, have a mechanic pull the dipstick before you buy, smell the oil. If it smells like gasoline, walk away from that specific vehicle. The Toyota RAV4 from 2015 to 2018 consistently shows up at the top of the segment for long-term reliability and resale. Kelley Blue Book regularly ranks it among the highest resale compact SUVs. You can find these between $15,000 and $20,000 used right now. The trade-off is age. The 2015 and 2016 RAV4 does not have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto natively. If that matters in your household, either budget for an aftermarket head unit or aim for the 2018 model, which will sit right at your ceiling with average mileage. What the RAV4 gives back is roughly $429 per year in average maintenance costs based on repairable national data, and a Toyota dealer and parts network that covers essentially every corner of the United States. That availability is worth something in the long run. The Nissan Rogue is where I want you to slow down. It was one of the best-selling SUVs in the country for years running, so there are a lot of them on the used market. You can find 2017 through 2019 models between $12,500 and $17,500. The interior space is excellent and the fuel economy is competitive, but the Rogue has a well-documented CVT problem. The continuously variable transmission on multiple model years has real reliability concerns. Nissan extended the CVT warranty to 84 months or 84,000 miles on some affected vehicles. If the Rogue you are looking at has more than 80,000 miles, you may be completely outside any remaining coverage on the most expensive mechanical component in the vehicle. CVT replacement on a Rogue runs between $3,500 and $5,000 at an independent shop. Before you buy any used Rogue, call Nissan customer service with the VIN in hand and confirm whether extended warranty coverage still applies to that specific vehicle. Do not take the seller's word for it. The Chevrolet Equinox from 2018 to 2020 is available between $13,500 and $19,000 used, and it is a practical family package: 5 seats, reasonable cargo room, 26 city and 31 highway MPG with the 1.5-liter turbo. The concern on the 2018 specifically is oil consumption with the 1.5-liter engine, which generated enough NHTSA complaints to be worth checking on any specific vehicle you consider. Ask the seller for service records showing regular oil changes. No service records, thin service history, treat that as a red flag. On this engine specifically, the Hyundai Tucson from 2018 to 2020 is the most feature-loaded option in this price range. $13,000 to $18,000 used, and at those prices you are frequently getting Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, heated seats, and a backup camera, features that cost you more on a comparable Honda or Toyota. The 2019 and 2020 models are noticeably better built than earlier generations. If you are looking at a 2018 Tucson, the 2.4-liter engine is the one you want for highway driving. The 2.0 is adequate but noticeably less refined. One thing that genuinely helps used Tucson buyers: Hyundai's original powertrain warranty was 10 years or 100,000 miles from the original purchase date. As a used buyer, you inherit whatever is left of that coverage. Depending on when the first owner bought the vehicle, there may still be meaningful warranty time remaining. On the engine and transmission, the Ford Escape closes the list. 2018 and 2019 models run between $12,500 and $17,500 used, comfortable interior, available AWD, reasonable features. There is one thing you need to verify before you buy any 2018 Escape with the 1.5-liter EcoBoost. NHTSA recall 19-22 covered a potential coolant leak into the engine cylinder on some of these vehicles. Ford addressed it under recall, but not every car has had the work completed. Go to NHTSA.gov, enter the VIN, and confirm the recall is closed on that specific vehicle. If it is still open, the seller or dealer needs to complete it before you finalize the purchase. Now, the math that most buyers ignore. Insurance on a used compact SUV in the United States runs approximately $1,400 to $1,900 per year for full coverage, more in Michigan, Louisiana, and Florida, which consistently have the highest premiums in the country. Add that to your monthly budget calculation before you fall in love with any specific vehicle. Annual maintenance on these vehicles averages $400 to $600 a year based on repairable national data, with Honda and Toyota at the lower end and the Escape at the higher end. Here is the number that matters most if you are financing. A $15,000 SUV financed with no money down at 20% annual interest over 60 months costs you approximately $398 per month. By the time you make the last payment, you have paid $23,880 for a $15,000 vehicle. Nearly $9,000 went to interest. That is how a reasonable car budget becomes an unreasonable debt. If your credit score is below 600 and you are being offered an interest rate above 14%, consider delaying the purchase by 4 to 6 months, pay down existing balances, apply through a credit union, and come back to the market with a pre-approval in hand. A credit union at 6 to 8% on that same $15,000 vehicle saves you somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000 over the loan. Who belongs in this market? Families who genuinely need 5 seats and cargo space, have a firm $20,000 ceiling, and are prepared to do the actual verification work. Vehicle history report, independent pre-purchase inspection, NHTSA recall check, CVT or engine-specific research on whichever model you target. Buyers in? Cold weather states should prioritize a WD. Buyers in California, Hawaii, or other high gas states should weight fuel economy more heavily. The CR-V and Rogue pay you back faster there. Who does not belong in this market right now? Buyers who cannot afford to spend $150 on a Carfax report and a pre-purchase inspection. Skipping those steps is not saving money. It is gambling your entire budget on a vehicle someone else decided was worth selling. 3 alternatives worth knowing about. The Subaru Forester from 2017 to 2019 gives you standard AWD on every single trim level, not optional, just standard, available between $16,000 and $20,000 used. It is the clearest choice for buyers in northern states with real winters. The Kia Sportage from 2018 to 2020 shares engineering with the Tucson, often comes in under Tucson pricing, and gives you strong feature content per dollar. The Mazda CX-5 from 2017 to 2019 has arguably the best interior quality and driving feel in this entire price class, and sits at $16,000 to $20,000 used with above average reliability per Consumer Reports. The bottom line here is simple. The CR-V and RAV4 are the safest long-term picks. The Rogue gives you the most space for the money but needs a CVT verification. The Equinox and Escape are workable if the documented issues come back clean. The Tucson gives you the most features at the lowest price. Do the work before you buy. Get the vehicle history report. Pay the $125 for an independent inspection. Check the recalls on NHTSA.gov. Understand what your financing actually costs over the full term. Do all of that, and $20,000 buys a real, capable family SUV in this market. Skip those steps, and there is a decent chance you are driving home someone else's problem.